I adore chili, it's a staple in my kitchen. When I stir-fry, I always add a generous amount. My downstairs neighbor, Monica, claimed my chili fumes had choked her mother-in-law to death and demanded 800,000 yuan in compensation. I called the police. Their investigation confirmed her mother-in-law's death was completely unrelated to me, but Monica wouldn't give up. She pressured me for money, even bringing a coffin to the door of my rented apartment, threatening to bury me alive with her mother-in-law if I didn't pay. During our heated argument, she shoved me, and I hit my head on a table corner, dying instantly. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day her mother-in-law supposedly choked to death. At the vegetable market, an old woman asked if I wanted to buy chili. She said hers were homegrown, incredibly spicy, and paired perfectly with pork belly, making you eat bowls of rice. I didn't hesitate. I bought all 2.5 kilograms of her chilies. Unlike my previous life, I didn't take the chilies home. Instead, I went straight to the house of my sworn enemy, Ethan. Ethan opened the door and frowned when he saw me. I grinned mischievously and asked him, "Got any pork belly?" "I bought these super spicy chilies, they'll set your mouth on fire?" Ethan looked displeased but stepped aside, letting me in. Under my direction, Ethan stir-fried a dish of chili pork, perfectly balanced in color, aroma, and taste. I couldn't wait. I took a bite. As the spiciness spread through my mouth, tears welled up in my eyes. The feeling of being alive was truly wonderful. In my previous life, after buying the chilies from the old woman, I happily went home to stir-fry pork belly. For half a kilo of pork belly, I added a full kilo of chilies. The fragrant chili aroma filled the air. I had just finished cooking when a frantic knocking erupted at my door. I opened it to a large, burly woman who burst in, slapping me several times, leaving me dizzy and disoriented. Still not satisfied, she kicked me to the ground. "You wretched hussy," she screamed. "Why did you stir-fry so many chilies? The strong, pungent smell choked my mother-in-law to death. You must pay with your life for hers." While I'd heard expressions like spicy enough to kill, this was the first time I'd encountered someone supposedly choked to death by chili fumes. I tried to understand the situation with the woman Monica, but she gave me no chance, continuing her assault. Monica was tall, plump, and incredibly strong. I was no match for her. Just as my vision blurred from the blows, Monica's husband, Daniel, grabbed her, quickly saying, "Wife, stop. If you kill her, how will we get our money?" Monica stopped hitting me, placing her foot on my face. "You set her up for a fall, you killed my mother-in-law, 800,000 yuan for her life. Hand over the money now, or I'll make sure you're buried with her." Struggling, I defended myself. "I don't even know your mother-in-law. What proof do you have that I killed her?" Monica pressed my face into the floor with her foot, growling, "My word is proof." Then she quickly left, presumably to deal with her mother-in-law's inheritance, telling me to have the money ready for them to collect that evening. I wouldn't yield to their threats. I immediately called the police. The police arrived and thoroughly investigated the situation. Monica's mother-in-law was already in poor health, and there was no evidence to link her death to me. I was absolved of all responsibility, but Monica wouldn't let it go, insisting her mother-in-law had choked to death on my chili fumes. She threw a tantrum, rolling on the ground and claiming the officer handling the case was having an affair with me and covering for me. The officer's expression darkened. Seeing she'd gone too far, Monica immediately backed down, promising not to cause further trouble and sincerely apologizing to me. I thought that would be the end of it. To my horror, that evening, Monica and Daniel carried a coffin to my doorstep, threatening to bury me alive with her if I didn't hand over the money. In a society governed by law, I believed justice would prevail. They had apologized sincerely in front of the police earlier that day. I convinced myself their extreme behavior was merely a result of overwhelming grief for their deceased family member, that they weren't inherently bad people. Instead of calling the police again immediately, I foolishly played the saint, trying to reason with them, hoping to resolve the issue amicably. But Monica, as if possessed, unleashed all her pent-up fury and old grudges on me, raining punches and kicks. Unwilling to be passively beaten, I fought back. We struggled, and in the chaos, Monica shoved me forcefully. My head struck the corner of a table. I died. Monica, furious at not getting any money, told Daniel to find some friends to take my body away for a ghost wedding, to at least salvage something. My poor parents, even after reporting me missing to the police, they couldn't find me. Their only daughter vanished without a trace, neither alive nor dead. My parents were heartbroken beyond measure. My mother cried until her eyes went blind, a truly tragic sight. After my death, I was filled with immense resentment. My soul lingered, haunting my killers, refusing to depart. Witnessing the 800,000 yuan slip away, Daniel beat Monica until her face swelled like a pig's head. From their argument, I finally understood. It was all a trap. Daniel owed 600,000 yuan in loan shark debts, pushed to his wits' end by his creditors. Ironically, his mother was in poor health and needed expensive surgery. Monica, fed up with her mother-in-law being a burden, shrewdly suggested a plan concerning Daniel's mother. Even with surgery, she said, she won't be normal. We'd still have to spend so much time and money caring for her afterwards. We can barely afford food now. Where would we get money to waste on her? In my opinion, your mother has lived long enough at 70. Why not let her fulfill her last value, helping us pay off all our debts at once? Upon hearing that his mother could help him clear his debts, Daniel's interest was immediately piqued. Monica continued, "That girl upstairs has money. The other day, I saw her driving a Porsche home. She especially loves stir-frying chilies. You pick up your mother to stay with us for a few days. Once that girl stir-fries her chilies, we'll claim the strong, pungent smell choked your mother to death. We'll pick a fight with her, and you can seize the opportunity to rob her. I'll film the whole thing to blackmail her. I bet she'll obediently cough up 800,000 yuan 600,000 to pay off the debt, and the remaining 200,000 will be enough for us to live lavishly for a while." Daniel's eyes lit up, but upon hearing about killing his own mother, he angrily beat Monica until her face was bruised and swollen. Monica, unfazed by the beating, sneered, "Either way, as things stand, your mother dies or the loan sharks kill us. Think carefully." The beastly Daniel hesitated for only a few minutes before agreeing to Monica's plan, trading his mother's life for gambling debt money. The moment Mrs. Davies was brought to their home, Monica, noticing my chili-stirring aroma from upstairs, unleashed her evil hands and forcefully pushed her mother-in-law. A stroke patient's greatest fear is falling and hitting their head. A single fall can be fatal. After confirming her mother-in-law was no longer breathing, Monica, boiling with rage, stormed upstairs to demand money from me, ultimately leading to my innocent death. After seeing the true faces of these two dogs, I trembled with anger, repeatedly wanting to grab a knife and end their lives. But I was merely a soul, utterly powerless to harm them, forced to wander in bitter resentment, unable to reincarnate. I floated to my own grave and saw Ethan, my college rival, stroking my tombstone, tears streaming down his face. "Sarah, why did you leave?" he choked. "I never even got to tell you. Sarah, I've loved you in secret for so long." Thankfully, fate had given me a second chance. This time, I wouldn't spare anyone, neither those I loved nor those who caused my tragic death. On one side, I ate the chili pork Ethan made, tears streaming down my face. On the other, the real drama was just beginning. After killing her mother-in-law as planned, Monica stormed upstairs and pounded on my door. "Bang, bang, bang, you hussy, your chili stir-fry choked my mother-in-law to death. Get out here and discuss compensation. Open the door, I know you're in there. Don't think hiding in your house will let you escape responsibility. I'll give you 1 minute. If you don't come out, I'll smash this door down. And don't come crying and begging then." Monica cursed and pounded, even kicking the door, but no one opened it, even after she was exhausted. Realizing I might not be home, Daniel worried about not getting any money. Wouldn't his mother have died for nothing then? Daniel blamed Monica for the terrible plan and without a word started hitting her. "You rotten hag, that was my mother. You just say push her to her death. I'll kill you, you snake-hearted woman." Monica spat at Daniel. "Pa, you have the nerve to blame me. If you weren't so useless, why would I have to live this dirt-poor life?" As far as I'm concerned, that old woman had lived long enough. Every day she lived was another burden. Better she die early and find peace early. That hussy has definitely run off. We'll stand guard here and bring a coffin to her doorstep. I don't believe she can endure us. We must get the money. That old woman cannot have died in vain. I devoured 3 bowls of rice and, out of respect, finished Ethan's entire dish of chili pork. After dinner, I volunteered to do the dishes. Ethan watched my capable actions and casually asked, "Coming to my place so openly, aren't you worried your boyfriend will get jealous?" Ethan and I had been sworn enemies since freshman year of college. I couldn't stand his arrogant air, and he hated my seemingly obsequious manner. In short, every time Ethan saw me, he'd lose his patience. Would have thought he secretly loved me. I stopped washing dishes and turned to look at Ethan. Ethan, your news isn't very current. I've been single for half a year now. I directly asked Ethan, do you secretly like me? Ethan immediately denied it. Stop being so conceited. Who would secretly like you? Under my intense gaze, Ethan quickly contradicted himself. So what if I do? The light in Ethan's eyes sparkled like stars in the sky. Nothing. The light in Ethan's eyes instantly dimmed. Ethan, let's give it a try. What I didn't expect was that Monica and Daniel, unable to ambush me at home, would go to my company to cause trouble. They wore white mourning clothes and unfurled a banner clearly stating, Sarah from Company 30 killed my mother-in-law, a life for a life. This was outrageous. They even set up a loudspeaker, blaring on repeat. Sarah from Company 30 killed my mother-in-law. Sarah previously agreed to compensate us 800,000 yuan, but now she's reneging on her promise. My poor mother-in-law died a wrongful death, never experiencing a single day of happiness. Sarah, get out here and give us back our 800,000 yuan. This spectacle not only rattled the entire company, but also alarmed everyone in the vicinity. Everyone wanted to gossip, but dared not approach. After all, anything associated with funerals was considered bad luck. Coincidentally, a major client was at the company for a survey and partnership negotiations that day. Seeing the commotion downstairs, they considered it bad luck and left immediately. My boss was so furious his face twisted. The entire company had worked tirelessly for over half a month, just waiting to sign that big contract to meet the year's targets. Now, half of this year's annual bonus was gone. My boss gave me 20 minutes to resolve the issue. Pay up if you have to, go to jail if you have to. Just get rid of them and stop causing him more trouble. With a scowl, I walked out of the company building. Monica spotted me and lunged forward, grabbing my collar and shaking me violently. You hussy, you finally show your face. You killed my mother-in-law. Hand over the 800,000 yuan compensation, or I'll make you pay with your life for hers. I forcefully pushed Monica away, then pulled a hammer from behind my back. I offered it to Monica with one hand, pointing to my own head with the other. Here. Take this hammer and kill me, then pay with my life for your mother-in-law's. Monica was stunned by my action. Her pupils contracted and she took a step back. Can't you? I pressed. You keep claiming I killed your mother-in-law. Tell me, how exactly did I kill her? You demand 800,000 yuan, but when did I ever agree to give you money? You can explain all this to the police later. You'd better have evidence to put me in jail, otherwise I will sue you for defamation. In my previous life, my personality was quite timid. I disliked arguing and was willing to suffer losses, making me seem easy to bully. Monica's family had bullied me countless times. For instance, Monica would frequently leave her trash in the stairwell and tell me to dispose of it for her. The couple would often steal my takeout food, then shamelessly ask me to order food for them. Even worse, Daniel would frequently urinate in the stairwell. Once, going upstairs, I saw him relieving himself. Unable to hold back, I reminded him that the stairwell was a public space and urinating there was uncivilized. Daniel, who had already zipped up his pants, unzipped them again when I spoke, exposing himself to me with an utterly vile grin. I like it here. I like bothering girls. If you don't like it, come bite me. He even made Asterisk it twitch. I trembled with fear and quickly ran back home. Once home, I immediately complained to the landlord, but he claimed he couldn't control them. Daniel was merely uncivilized, not breaking any laws. The landlord told me to turn a blind eye. He didn't live there himself and only cared about collecting rent. Nothing else concerned him. Even when Daniel and Monica carried a coffin to my doorstep, the landlord paid no mind to such an ominous event. He said tenants' grievances should be resolved amongst themselves, and if truly unsolvable, I should call the police, as coming to him was useless. Faced with such a landlord and neighbors, I knew I couldn't stay there long. I immediately started looking for a new place to move. The result? I was murdered before I could even move. Now I was making the first move, daring Monica to strike me dead to avenge her mother-in-law. Instead, she recoiled in fear. Ultimately, they only wanted to exploit their status as victim's family through intimidation and public opinion to extort money. When it came to taking a life, they absolutely wouldn't dare. Especially after I mentioned calling the police, a flicker of panic crossed Monica's face, but she quickly puffed out her chest again. Call the police then, she shrieked. Perfect. They can come arrest you, the murderer. My mother-in-law was peacefully at home. You, upstairs, stir-fried chilies, and the smell was so acrid and strong. My mother-in-law choked and coughed violently, couldn't breathe, collapsed, and died on the spot. Pity my poor mother-in-law, who never enjoyed a day of happiness, choked to death by you, you hussy. I'm telling you, if you don't compensate us 800,000 yuan, I'll come to your company every single day to cause trouble. I'll post about you online. I'll make sure you never have a moment's peace in this life. Daniel chimed in. That's right. If you don't pay up, I'll deal with you myself. What a crazy, greedy pair. Their outrageous behavior was beyond despicable. Did they still think I was the weakling from my previous life? First, I declared, I've never even met your mother-in-law. How could I possibly harm her? Second, you claim your mother-in-law choked on the smell of my chili stir-fry, but I haven't been home for days. How could I have cooked chilies to harm her? Third, you are clearly attempting extortion. Forget 800,000 yuan, you won't get 8 cents from me. Monica knew further confrontation would not benefit her, so she ignored my questions and resorted to theatrics. No matter what I said, she stubbornly insisted that I was responsible for her mother-in-law's death. Even when the police arrived, Monica refused to cooperate, instead throwing herself on the ground and flailing, acting like a complete lunatic. Just like in my previous life, the police thoroughly investigated and found that Mrs. Davies' death was unrelated to me. I bore no responsibility. It was due to all this commotion that I learned. Mrs. Davies suffered from anosmia, a loss of smell. Forget chili stir-fry. Even if you put a pile of excrement in front of her, she wouldn't smell it. Mrs. Davies usually lived with her daughter, Nora. Monica and Daniel had no idea she couldn't smell, yet they tried to extort money from me. What a pipe dream. Leaving the police station, I received a call from my company's HR department. I was fired. Monica's disturbance in front of the company was filmed by curious onlookers, posted online with the company's location tagged, sparking a heated debate across the city. Fearing major repercussions, the company fired me to protect itself. Often, the online crowd couldn't care less about the truth. They only wanted to consume the drama they desired. For instance, if they decided I was a murderer, then a murderer I was. It didn't matter. I had more important things to do. Monica was right, a life for a life. She wouldn't escape. The house I rented was a self-built property in an urban village. Since the landlord didn't care, there were no surveillance cameras installed. When I first moved in, I intended to install my own, but work got busy and I forgot. In my previous life, after I was murdered, my soul wandered everywhere. That night, I floated to the landlord's house and saw him leering at his computer, laughing obscenely. I phased in to look. On his screen was a woman bathing. It was Monica. The landlord had secretly installed a camera in Monica's bathroom. If Monica's house had one, surely mine did too. I hadn't lived there long, but the thought of my daily showers being live-streamed made my very soul tremble. Even as a ghost, I felt shame. After observing for a few days, I confirmed my house had no hidden cameras. That old pervert preferred plump figures and had no interest in a bean sprout like me. I was lucky to have escaped. I suddenly realized, if Monica's house had a hidden camera, then on the 23rd, the scene of Monica killing Mrs. Davies might have been recorded. Monica was venomous and had long harbored hatred for her mother-in-law. When she acted, she would certainly provoke her mother-in-law to unleash her sharp tongue. They would undoubtedly argue, and the sounds would not be faint. The urgent task now was to retrieve that video from the landlord to confirm if it contained evidence of Monica's crime. But first, I had to meet Ethan. Ethan presented me with a bouquet of chilies, bird's eye bell peppers, green chilies, and chili horns. Just the scent was fragrant. This guy really knew how to impress. That wasn't all. Ethan pulled out a bank card and placed it in my hand. There's $1 million in here. The password is your birthday. I stared at the bank card in my hand. It felt burning hot. Have you seen those videos online? I asked. I'm not bowing to evil. It's not that I don't have money. I tried to give the card back. I can't take your money. Ethan held my hand, saying earnestly, our tradition is to hand over our salary cards. Just tell me what you need. I'll always be here. It would be a lie to say I wasn't moved. It turned out that the cold Ethan could be so thoughtful once in love. Ethan and I became sworn enemies since freshman year of college. I couldn't stand his arrogant air, and he hated my seemingly obsequious manner. In short, every time Ethan saw me, he'd lose his patience. Would have thought he secretly loved me. I stopped washing dishes and turned to look at Ethan. Ethan, your news isn't very current. I've been single for half a year now. I directly asked Ethan, do you secretly like me? Ethan immediately denied it. Stop being so conceited. Who would secretly like you? Under my intense gaze, Ethan quickly contradicted himself. So what if I do? The light in Ethan's eyes sparkled like stars in the sky. Nothing. The light in Ethan's eyes instantly dimmed. Ethan, let's give it a try. What I didn't expect was that Monica and Daniel, unable to ambush me at home, would go to my company to cause trouble. What followed was a wonderful dating period. One night, while having hot pot, I casually asked, "Are you still in touch with Leo?" Ethan expertly picked up a piece of cooked beef with his chopsticks and placed it in my bowl. "Oh, why do you ask?" Seeing that disrupting my company hadn't worked, Monica started a new scheme. Capitalizing on the lingering online buzz, she launched a live stream, pouring dirty water over my reputation. Curiosity piqued, I tuned in and was immediately astonished by Monica's shamelessness. Monica brought the entire drama from my company's doorstep into her live stream room. There, she and Daniel, dressed in white mourning clothes, knelt on the ground, faces pale, feigning extreme pain and suffering. Monica claimed her mother-in-law was a pitiful 70-year-old woman who still had to worry about her children, dying by my hand before she could enjoy any happiness. My mother-in-law was in poor health and couldn't smell strong scents, she wailed. That woman stir-fried a full 2.5 kilograms of chilies. That's more potent than a bullet. How could my mother-in-law possibly endure that? It's heartbreaking how, even on her deathbed, she remembered the cardboard she'd collected, telling me to sell it to buy fruit for her grandchild. Oh, the endless sacrifice of parents in this world. Heaven is unfair. Why do good people go unrewarded while that woman suffers no consequences? She works in an office building, drives a Porsche, not only refuses to take responsibility, but even cursed my mother-in-law, saying she was old and better off dying early to find peace. I'm useless. I can't avenge my mother-in-law. I just want to follow her to the grave. Monica truly knew how to manipulate the online crowd. Portraying her mother-in-law as pitiful easily stirred people's sympathy and outrage. The livestream room also had a gifting function and a shopping cart attached. In a short time, Monica earned a considerable amount of money. Amidst Monica's lamentations, among the online melon-eaters, besides the enraged keyboard warriors, some rational netizens questioned why, if a murder was involved, they weren't calling the police but instead hosting a livestream asking for gifts. Sadly, such questions were like pebbles tossed into the ocean, sinking without a trace before making any waves. A 70-year-old elderly woman collecting scrap contrasted with a young woman driving a Porsche. Such a stark contrast was bound to make keyboard warriors lose their minds. Some extremist netizens, using the address Monica had revealed, rushed to my rented apartment door to spray paint, "Sarah, go to hell," and pile up wreaths of trash. These people acted almost brainlessly, never considering that if I could drive a Porsche, why would I still be living in a dilapidated rented house? That Porsche belonged to a colleague. That day, I worked late, and my colleague drove me home. Monica happened to see it, mistook me for a wealthy person, and thus targeted me for extortion. The melon of the mother-in-law choking on chili fumes grew larger and larger, and as the person at the center of it, I remained silent. From start to finish, I said nothing, neither denying, proving myself, nor retaliating, letting myself be subjected to online abuse. I wasn't weak, nor was I unwilling to fight back. The time simply wasn't right yet. Ethan had already enlisted Leo the hacker to help hack the landlord's computer. After living once more, I had become very cautious. For hacking, it was more trustworthy to find someone I knew. Sure enough, we found what I wanted on the landlord's computer. On the 23rd, before Monica laid her hands on her mother-in-law, they had indeed argued. I played the video. "Monica, I'm thirsty, pour me a glass of water." "Drink what?" Monica sneered. "You're about to go to the underworld, don't waste water." "Underworld what?" "Monica, what are you doing? Old woman, you've lived long enough. Whose fault is it that your body is failing, getting sick, and burdening us? Today, I'll help you end your life, die early, be free early. Don't worry, go to the other side and enjoy your blessings. I'll light incense for you. You snake-hearted woman." Mrs. Davies shrieked. "You dare touch a single hair on my head? Daniel and Nora won't forgive you. I wondered why you were suddenly so kind, bringing me here to show filial piety. Turns out you wanted to harm me. I'll call my son right now to deal with you." "Ha ha ha," Monica laughed. "Don't you know, old woman? Daniel owes a mountain of debt he can't repay. He's the one who came up with the idea to take your life for debt money. You're just skin and bones, yet you're worth 800,000 yuan. Be content, I'll be a little forceful in a bit, but I won't let you suffer too much. Monica, you dare? Mrs. Davies cried. I'll call my son, I'll call my daughter to deal with you, you vicious woman. Speaking of vicious, Monica retorted, old woman, you're the most vicious. You couldn't create a rich life for your son, and now that you're old, you're still a burden to him. If you're not vicious, who is? I think you just don't want us to live well. Old woman, I'll send you to hell right now. Monica, let me go, I don't want to die yet. Don't harm me, or even as a ghost, I won't forgive you. Mother, have a peaceful journey. Ah, Mrs. Davies' final, tragic scream reminded me of my own past life. Back then, when my head hit the table corner, I didn't die instantly. I thrashed, grabbing Monica's pants leg, agreeing to give her 800,000 yuan, begging her to call 911 to save me. Monica kicked me away, then stomped and crushed my fingers with her foot. Now you want to pay? She sneered. What about earlier? Too late. This isn't about money anymore. Only the dead tell no tales, so you might as well die. My will to live made me plead desperately. Monica, annoyed, wanted to finish me off immediately. Daniel held her back, grinning maliciously. Wife, I haven't been with a young girl in ages. Let me have her. Daniel reached for my chest and squeezed hard. I felt all the blood rush to my brain. The pain, the humiliation, made me wish for instant death. But my body was powerless. I couldn't move, only endure the degradation. After an unknown time, Monica cursed, shoved Daniel away, grabbed my head, and slammed it repeatedly against the table corner until I stopped breathing. Even then, they didn't let go of me, taking my body for a ghost wedding, exploiting my last ounce of worth. In my previous life, Monica had prepared in advance, making her mentally ill younger brother take the blame, thus escaping legal punishment herself. This time, with concrete evidence, Monica couldn't escape. I held the evidence, ready to go to the police, but Ethan stopped me. For some people, going straight to the police is too easy, he said. Sarah, leave the rest to me. I asked Ethan, did you also come back? Ethan replied vaguely, I've always been here, never left. I always felt Ethan had also come back. In my previous life, until my tragic death, I never knew Ethan secretly loved me. Because of this hidden love, many things could be explained. His baseless rivalry, his seemingly indifferent concern, and many other details I hadn't noticed before. A maiden's heart is truly hard to guess. In truth, no one knew then that I too had once secretly loved Ethan, only to have my roommate, who was cheated on, come to me. She cried, telling me she liked Ethan and asked me not to compete with her. After being cheated on, my roommate was deeply distressed and emotionally unstable. Fearing she might do something rash if provoked, I reluctantly agreed. Afterwards, every time Ethan saw me, he seemed impatient. I thought he hated me, so I suppressed my feelings for him. Now, Ethan and I stood facing each other. He looked at me, a smile curving his lips and reaching the depths of his eyes. At this moment, whether he had returned or not no longer seemed to matter. What mattered was that I hadn't died tragically like in my previous life. I still had a lifetime to experience all the beautiful things in this world, including love with my former sworn enemy. But before that, I had to deal with Monica. I refused Ethan's help. I wanted to exact my revenge myself. I brought 2 tough guys to Monica's house. As expected, Monica was already live streaming, spouting nonsense. Seeing me at her door, she tried to turn off the live stream. I signaled, and one of my brothers, Lee, immediately snatched Monica's phone, adjusted the angle to frame her, and the live stream continued. What's wrong, Monica? I challenged. Are you scared? Don't you dare confront me on live stream. Monica spat at me. Scared? I'm just worried my fans are too numerous. You might not handle the pressure and jump off a building. How utterly fake. I pulled out Mrs. Davies' medical test results from my pocket, showed them to everyone, and challenged Monica. You keep claiming your mother-in-law choked on my chili fumes, but your mother-in-law had already lost her sense of smell and couldn't detect any odors. How could you possibly determine she choked to death on chilies? Monica retorted. Just because she can't smell doesn't mean she can't choke. Can you guarantee that? Can doctors guarantee that? Can the law guarantee that? Well done, still arguing? I then presented evidence that I wasn't home. At the time of your mother-in-law's accident, I wasn't home at all. How could my chili fumes have choked her then? Monica continued to argue. Who knows if your video is fabricated? Even if you weren't home, can you guarantee no one else was? Anyway, the smell came from your house. Don't try to deny it. Viewers flooded Monica's live stream room to witness this ultimate showdown. Monica's fans constantly cheered her on in the comments. Gifts in the live stream room surged. Monica saw me with no more words to retort, an incredibly smug expression on her face. If she had a tail, it would have been wagging to the heavens. I clenched my fist, ready to unleash the evidence that would bring Monica down. Just then, Monica's sister-in-law, Nora, burst in and kicked Monica, sending her flying. "Monica, you murderer, give my mother her life back." Monica quickly scrambled up and wrestled with Nora. They exchanged blows, and within minutes, both their faces were bruised. "Nora, are you crazy?" Monica screamed. "Did I provoke you? You're like a mad dog, biting randomly. Don't think causing trouble will get you money. Mother's assets belong to Daniel and me. You won't get a single cent." Nora ignored Monica's wild accusations. Seizing the right moment, she slammed Monica to the ground, quickly sat on her, and slapped her face repeatedly. Monica, unable to resist the beating, cried and begged, "Sister, please stop hitting me. We can discuss the assets. Let's sit down and talk." Nora stopped, her voice choked with emotion. "Monica, you're truly vicious. You said you wanted to show filial piety to Mother, bringing her home to stay for a while. I never imagined that for money you would cruelly lay hands on her. Mother was old, and I worked hard to earn money to support you too. How could you bring yourself to harm her? Don't you fear divine retribution? You even went online spreading lies, slandering others. Your face is thicker than the Great Wall. Today, if I don't beat you to death, I'm not a Davies." It seemed Nora had also seen the video. No need to guess, Ethan must have sent it to her. Ethan still couldn't resist helping. I coolly watched them fight, reaping the benefits of their conflict. "Your mother was killed by Sarah. It has nothing to do with me," Monica shrieked. "What right do you have to hit me? Sarah, you must be behind this trick. Just you wait. I'll tell my fans to tear you apart. I'll make your life worse than death." I stepped forward, looking down at Monica from above, a deliciously satisfying feeling of revenge washing over me. "Monica," I declared, "then let your so-called fans witness your downfall." I played the video on my phone, and Monica and Mrs. Davies' conversation echoed throughout the live stream room. The moment Monica heard the video, her pupils contracted in shock, her face displaying utter disbelief. "Sarah, how do you have that video?" she shrieked. "Fake, it's all fake. Turn it off now." Monica tried to scramble up and snatch my phone, but Nora pinned her to the ground. Immediately after, crack, Nora snapped Monica's arm. Monica's agonizing scream was music to my ears. At the same time, the comments in the live stream room quickly turned into curses directed at Monica, filled with all sorts of vile and malicious words. Still not fully satisfied, I leaned down and whispered into Monica's ear, "You don't know this yet, but the landlord secretly installed cameras in your house. All your bath scenes have been recorded. Your figure is truly beautiful. I've already posted the videos online. Everyone is frantically downloading them to watch you bathe." Monica's eyes widened, and she screamed maniacally. Nora seized the opportunity to break her other arm. This drama finally ended with Monica being taken away by the police. A life for a life legal punishment awaited her. The wicked landlord wouldn't escape legal retribution either. As for the frenzied online crowd, the truth would silence them, and time would heal the damage. With Monica dealt with, I still couldn't let my guard down, as Daniel was still lurking in the shadows, capable of seeking revenge at any moment. Ethan smiled, stroking my head. "Don't worry, with me here, he won't be able to lay a finger on you." His masculine assurance instantly put my heart at ease. "You've been under so much tension, you must be exhausted. Come on, I'll take you for some braised pork." Ethan took me to his roommate's wedding. That former Playboy roommate who had cheated on my friend years ago had now been tamed by his wife after some self-reflection. The friend saw Ethan, and his first words were, "My boy, you've finally found success." I asked Ethan what he was cooking. He said he was making a pot of super sweet red sugar soup and asked if I wanted to try some. I said, "Of course." After the wedding, on the way home, Ethan kissed me. When we were both breathless, he asked, "Sweet enough?" "I tasted the delicious, endlessly sweet flavor," I replied. Ethan walked me downstairs, but I didn't let him escort me up. "What's wrong? Afraid I can't control myself?" he teased. "No, I'm afraid I can't control myself. Just go home quickly." With that, I turned and went upstairs. The moment I opened my door, preparing to close it, a figure lunged in, forcefully gripping my neck and pinning me against the door. It was Daniel. Daniel was deep in debt and couldn't pay it back. To escape creditors, he had been hiding everywhere. That's how he managed to avoid trouble when Monica was arrested. Daniel reeked, he was filthy and unkempt. His strength was immense, choking me until I couldn't breathe. "You hussy," he rasped. "You came back to life, didn't you? Otherwise, you would have been dead ages ago with no chance to ruin us." So Daniel also remembered my past life, but what good would that do him now? Everything was over, including Daniel, who was now nothing more than a fish on a chopping block. In reality, Daniel was the most despicable one. Monica carried out all the dirty work, but Daniel pulled the strings behind the scenes. A man who appeared meek and afraid of his wife in reality had her firmly under his thumb, using her as his weapon. If not, why in my previous life, after I was injured, did Daniel want to taste me? Monica allowed Daniel to humiliate me right in front of her. I struggled to speak, a strained sound escaping my throat. Daniel, let go of me. The police are looking for you everywhere. You can't escape. If I can't escape, he sneered, I'll drag you down with me. So what if you came back to life? You'll still be dealt with by me just like in your previous life. Ha ha ha. Daniel laughed maniacally, and as if a thought struck him, a vicious glint appeared in his eyes. No, I have to kill you now. With that, Daniel pulled out a knife, intending to stab me. I screamed, the police are here. While Daniel was distracted, I pulled out my pepper spray and blasted it into his face. In that critical moment, Ethan arrived just in time and after a brief struggle, subdued Daniel. After everything settled, Ethan held me tightly, apologizing repeatedly. Sarah, I'm so sorry I broke my promise, I still let him touch you. I buried my face in Ethan's chest. I brought Ethan home to meet my parents. My parents, whose hair had turned white overnight from my tragic death in the previous life, were now happily bustling about in the kitchen. Ethan eagerly helped them, while I sat on the sofa, nibbling sunflower seeds, watching them work. At this moment, a feeling of profound happiness filled me. On TV, the legal news reported that Monica was finally sentenced to a suspended death penalty, meaning she would spend the rest of her life in prison. After dinner was prepared, our family happily sat down to eat. My father had stir-fried chili pork for me, so delicious it brought tears to my eyes. As I ate, looking at the loving faces around me, I couldn't help but exclaim, "The feeling of being alive is truly wonderful."